Well, hello, and welcome to Stop Let's Team Up, episode 58. Stargirl, The Lost Children, 4 and 5. I got so backed up on doing these because I wanted to wait until I had the hard copy of them that by the time I got around to really having the time to record, about 4 or 5 is out on the app. So I'm going to do them both back to back because I never did find something that could really pair with Stargirl this time without doing another Seven Soldiers of Victory, but I'm going to kind of do those anyway in different intervals, just jumping around in it. I do want to read those and cover them and talk about it, but I do a lot of Golden Age and old school DC characters, so I'm kind of saving some for later. But let's get started talking about Stargirl, The Lost Children, issue 4. So here's some of the basic information about this little comic. It is cover dated April 2023. Executive editor is Marie Javins. Cover artist is Todd Nauck. Writer Jeff Johns. Penciler Todd Nauck. Inker Ted Nauck. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Someone please correct me. Colorist Matt Herms. Letters Rob Lee. Editors Andrew Marino and Katie Kubrick. It is titled Losing Track of Time. Its main characters, Corky Baxter, Crockett, as he's also known as from the Time Agents, but Red Arrow and Stargirl are really our leads. Supporting cast, The Boom, J.D. Garrick, Jay Garrick's daughter, The Lost Children, Airwave, Hal Jordan. Someone online had said it was Larry Jordan, the Golden Age Airwave, but no, it is Hal Jordan's cousin, the young Hal Jordan, who is the second Airwave, who was a kid, in Bronze Age comics. Yeah, Bronze Age, maybe a little Modern Age too. He would pop back up. Betsy Ross, the Blue Boys, consisting of Tommy Rogers, Tuffy and Tubby, Cherry Bomb, John Henry Jr., Ladybug, Little Miss Redhead, Molly Pitcher, the Newsboy Legion, consisting of Big Words, Famous Bobby, Flip, Gabby Scrapper, Tommy Tompkins, Pinky the Whiz Kid, only behind the scenes, Quick Quiz Kid, Robbie the Robot Dog, Salem the Witch Girl, Sparky, TikTok, James Martin, give his name, Wing, Secret, Time Masters in a Flashback, Bonnie Baxter, Jeff Smith, and Rip Taylor. I should do those. And the bad guys, the Childminder. And I will pause there and not tell you both of them unless you haven't read it, but I'm going to spoil it when we get to it. But let's talk about issue 4. It's got a great cover by Todd Nauck, and it is Stargirl reading a copy of Flash Comics number 10, and it's got Jay and Judy running to save some people from water coming out of a dam, it looks like. Well, that is an actual cover, minus Judy. The real Flash Comics number 10, this is the cover, and Judy wasn't in it. And this issue starts with the Flash, Barry. He's running through the time stream, and the Time Masters go past him right at the time when he creates Flashpoint, and that is what caused these kids, the Lost Kids, to be pulled out. And we see a little graph or a little flow chart. That's what it is, a flow chart, where the divine continuum broke into space, the omniverse, and time, hypertime, and hypertime is made up of limbo and vanishing, or it begat limbo and vanishing point. The omniverse gave birth to the multiverse and the dark multiverse, and then the metaverse of Earth O and the sphere of the gods. So that's kind of cool. And this is all tied into both flashpoints. So Flashpoint, Doomsday Clock, that gets mentioned in here in one of these issues. Rebirth, because the universe got reset, and then when it got fixed again, and Batman Beyond Flashpoint, which was the sequel, which is Thomas Wayne, who'd been pulled from his time, blah, blah, blah. Batman had Dr. Manhattan's snow globe that had time properties. This is all very timey-wimey, a lot running around through a lot of Jeff Johns' stuff. And I read some of it out of order. Oh, did I? I think I read it out of order because I need to go back and read it. I'm going to go back and read in order when this whole thing in JSA is done and see how it really flows. It kind of reminds me of Hickman, where one series leads to another series leads to another. And I don't mind it because I've been enjoying them. So, but it's great. We see that, and Corky's, telling all this history. It's another info dump. Issue 3 was a bit of an info dump, and I enjoyed it, but, this is a 6-act TV series. I want to say it not like a play. It really reminded me this because it's got good cliffhangers, but it's got acts, and you're seeing just re-explaining how time got messed up and how the time hunters pulled these lost children, the ones that were in those 13 tubes, out and put them in the tubes to keep them from vanishing from time entirely. And then they were kidnapped by the childminder. And we find out she's got the secret in there and a couple other kids. And Judy is being forced to power this device. And Corky just keeps convincing them that they need to go. And they all head toward, the castle. I guess it's a castle where the childminder is. And they all prepare for battle. And they go in, and all but a handful are... Well, no. They're fighting off the eggs, and all this is going on, and Judy is running, and it's powering this time vortex to bring the person that has hired the childminder to kidnap these kids, and it ends up being Our Man, the android from the series from the early aughts, which is an amazing series. It is something I've never, because I have the floppies, and there isn't a trade or a hardcover, so it's a comic whose floppies will never leave me because it's really hard to find. I know it's probably on the app. I could read it there, but so that's what this is. It's kind of like it's a continuation of a lot of exposition, and I think it is entertaining and interesting exposition. I like stuff with a lot of backstory and a little. You guys listen to my podcast. I like it when the comics gab. I want character development. I want conversations. I want to know the motivation between these characters. I don't want rock'em sock'em. I like it, but I don't want it. Does it? I need to know what the characters are doing, and I don't care if they do something that I wouldn't expect or something I think is out of their character. I just want to know in whatever story I'm reading, for whatever reason I'm reading it, that I like that element. I really like that element of, let me know what they're thinking. Let them have a conversation with someone to explain where they are at emotionally or mentally, or give me some information I need. And a lot of people who are reading the Stargirl comic probably didn't read some of this other Seth John stuff. Because if you're a Stargirl fan, you're a Stargirl fan, I think. She's one of those characters that there's those of us that when Stars and Stripes came out, blew our mind because it was a great, fun comic book. And just fell in love with Courtney, and I loved her in the JSA. I think she's one of the best. I think she's the best character Jeff John has created. She is my favorite of all the characters he's written. She's my favorite, and that's why I love this book. But it's a really good comic, and in this issue I really enjoyed. It's really necessary. You got some beautiful art by Todd with all these characters. And he's the perfect artist of this because, I read Young Justice, especially when he was doing it. That's kind of when I started reading it. And he's made to draw these kids. And they're good designs. And you get a little know more about the childminder and what she's doing with this machine. And there is a great fight sequence, or after they decide to leave to go battle, because they're all worried, and they're being told that if they do this fight, they will all end up exactly where they were when they were taken. And Wing knows it means his death. I think he's figured it out, and Courtney knows it's his death because she knows the story of that team up from Ollie and the other 7 Soldiers of Victory. So some of these kids don't know where they're going to end up. But Courtney does. And with some of them, she doesn't, because she doesn't even know that she didn't even know they existed. She's really taking them on her shoulders, her and Wing. And Corky from the Time Masters, who is an absolute prat, thinks he's leading. But it is Courtney. This is Courtney and Emiko's story. But they go off, and there's a great double-page spread where they're all crossing this bridge to the castle. It's beautiful. I posted part of the image and the page earlier today on Twitter. It's amazing. And these kids going at it, and Judy is running just like Barry would on a treadmill. She's powering this time vortex, and then Our Man comes out, and that's the cliffhanger. There's some great stuff. We're getting to see more of Salem, the witch girl. She's great. She's got an attitude. John Henry Jr. gets time to shine. Cherry Bomb's got some time to shine. Wing's got a lot going on, and so does Airwave. It's a lot going on, but I really enjoyed it. Let's move on to 15. I'm going to try not to bore you with me repeating myself, and it seems like I am. But I just read these again today very slowly after work while I was waiting for my wife to come home and before we had to do some stuff. And I'm recording this late on Friday, hopefully going to have it before I go to bed. because tomorrow I go to GalaxyCon, get to meet David Tennant, and wander around and look at people in cosplay, window shop because I have no money, and other than that, just maybe get a couple autographs. I'm going to take my Sweet Tooth. If you live in Richmond, Sweet Tog's a yogurt shop. Sweet Tooth to get signed by Jeff Lemire, and I'm looking forward to it. So, Stargirl, The Lost Children episode, issue 5, cover dated May 2023. Executive editor Marie Javins, cover artist Todd Nauck, writer Jeff Johns, pencil inker Todd Nauck, Matt Herms, colorist Rob Lee, editors Andrew Marino, Katie Kubrick. The name of the story is Chapter 5, Man and Woman of the Hour, and it has a great cover of this giant childminder grabbing at the heroes outside the castle. It really reminds me of an old Silver Age comic where, it's not a scene you'd see in it, just a great cover. And the splash page on this is, Courtney battling, she's dodging the tentacles of the eggs, and doing some Courtney flips in the air. And then the second page, then there's a battle where all the kid heroes are battling the eggs. Their battle goes on. Airwave gets some shots in. Stargirl does. The two sidekicks to Miss Liberty are taken. Molly Pitcher and Betsy Ross are taken in eggs. And then eggs say nested. So everybody starts fighting, and then the Newsboy Legion gets taken. Little Boy Blue. All the kids get taken except for Robot Dog, Quiz Kid, Cherry Bomb, Little Redhead. I cannot remember that character's name. I feel terrible. I'll go back and look in a second when I talk about what I think about the comic. Salem, Stargirl. Cherry Bomb and Salem get into a fight, and Courtney breaks it up by jumping in between them before they kill each other. She creates a little crater, and then she's, she doesn't know why she's leading, and then Ladybug, gives her a pep talk. And then we cut back in, and Our Man is demanding where the children are. And Childminder goes, they're on their way. And she's, creepy. And Our Man, I do not disagree with. She says, they need to be programmed like all children and androids. I do not disagree. Good programming eliminates bad behavior. Now, before I help you gather them, we want to be assured that the most powerful of all is still in our possession. The fastest girl alive, the Boom. Where is Judy Garrick? And she's exhausted in the machine, and Emiko is talking to her, and she tells her, it's great. She tells Judy that her father learned a trick from the other Flashes that Emiko knows how to vibrate through a wall, and she talks her through it. Judy just starts vibrating, the machine falls apart, and then there's an explosion, and she blows the wall out, and then Our Man and Childminder realize what's going on, and then Judy gets her out of her cell, and then she gets everybody else out of the cell. And we're introduced to some more Lost kids, which is cool. Sparky, the Blue Beetle, sidekick to the Blue Beetle, the sidekick to Mr. Scarlet, the Whiz Kid. I'm Pinky Butler, the Whiz Kid. And then Dan Dynamite is, and Emiko knew him as an old man, and it's a great moment. She goes, Dynamite! It's you, isn't it? Mr. Dunbar. Somehow it's you. I don't know how you're young again, but we can figure out later. For now, I'm just happy to see you. And he goes, you know how I am? And he's crying. And then the eggs, Childminder, and Our Man show up. And Emiko just loads her bow and goes, we're not going anywhere. And we're well past behaving. Go, you go. I like this new red arrow. And Dan Dynamite has both rings, so he puts them together, and he's powered up. And then right then, the remaining hero kids from the outside come charging in. It's great. And then Emiko, man, it's a great moment. You get this moment where Red Arrow and Stargirl cuddle. And then as they're saying that, all of a sudden, Red Arrow is being pulled up by a force field. And Our Man is hovering above Courtney saying, he's saying, and I am the only one who can save these children from complete obliteration. So is he a bad guy or a good guy? This one was action-packed, and it was a little more with Emiko, which I really liked because I don't think we've seen enough of her, and I do think this book is equally about her. The fight scene was a lot of fun. Again, the art is the best stuff I have seen Todd Nauck ever do, and I love his stuff. I did not give you the roll call because I was so interested to go straight in, and there's some images in the 2-page spread. It has their heads and their names around the top and bottom, and it's gorgeous. But the main feature characters: Red Arrow, Stargirl, the Boom, Judy Garrick, Corky Baxter, a.k.a. Crockett, I don't know. I have to reread this because I missed something. I'm old. The Lost Children, Airwave, Hal Jordan, Betsy Ross, Blue Boys, Tommy Rogers, Tuffy Tubby, Cherry Bomb, Dynamite, John Henry, Ladybug, Little Miss Redhead, there we go, Molly Pitcher, Newsboy Legion, consisting of big words, Famous Bobby, Flip, Gabby, Scrapper, and Tommy Tompkins, Pinky the Whiz Kid, Quiz Kid, Robbie the Robot Dog, Salem the Witch Girl, Secret, Sparky, first full appearance. I need to check something, TikTok, and Wing, and then the Time Master's appearance, flashback, and then it's our villains are Time Hour Man and the Child Killer. And I've gone to I'm on the DC Wiki, and I want to see if this character, where his first appearance was. Oh, he's a brand new character, so he's a new sidekick, and he is for the old Blue Beetle. Let's see this. Wait a minute. Sparkington J. Northrup was created by Alan Ulmer, first appearing in Blue Beetle 14. However, in Prime Earth continuity, Sparky J. Northam first appeared in DC Comics universe in Stargirl: The Last Children. In the new DC 52 universe in Stargirl: The Lost Children 4. Let's see what other... see if I can see an old picture of him while I'm talking. But he has a neat little, Silver Age costume or Golden Age costume. And he looks like one of those era's sidekicks. And that's kind of cool. But it's a solid issue with some really great action. And I just think it's why comics are fun in a lot of ways. That's why I'm really, really enjoying the hell out of this series. Because they are just that. I think one reason I like Stargirl more than anything else Johns has ever done is because I think there's a little heart to it. I think it's basically the kid superhero, learning how to get their feet wet. It's what makes Peter Parker good. It's what makes Superboy good. It makes what, Teen Titans books I read. I like the teams made of kids or young adults. Those were the books I followed. So I think that's probably just personal taste now that I think about it. But this was a lot of fun, man. And the art's good. And it ends on another great cliffhanger, man. These cliffhangers are great. Is Our Man doing this? Because he says he's there for Tyler Co. And Tyler Co's an entity in the year 1 million. So, and not good guys. If I remember correctly, they're not good. So, is he on the side of angels or is he a devil? Has someone done something? Is this before he becomes a hero? It's timey-wimey, man. I also talked Doctor Who. So it's great to see him back because, one, he's such a great design and he's such a great character. And I want to see what next issue, which is the last issue, delivers. I want to see what it delivers, the finale. And then I'm going to go back and read the whole thing in one big chunk and see how it holds up. But you get to meet these characters. Emiko gets some stuff to do. There's a lot of heart. I'm going to say it again. I keep saying it. There's a lot of heart to this comic. I enjoy the hell out of it. And I hope you do. And I hope you're having fun. I know I rambled a little bit because I just read them and I'm just so enjoying it. And it was really just one big... It's very interconnected. It's going to read really well in trade. But it read well as issues, which I really appreciate because that is my pet peeve of modern comics, as you know. All right, folks. Hey, so Tuesday, more Starman. It will be Starman Volume 2, Number 5, and Adventure Comics 66, sorry. And then more Legion on Thursday. And then next weekend, I don't know what I'm going to do. It will probably be Danger Street 4 and Lady Cop. But until then, folks, be safe, be smart, be kind to one another, and read some comics.